So, Thomas, Borussia Dortmund has a very good reputation in identifying new talent, giving them the opportunity to play. So could you talk about your philosophy, how you scout the talent and how you develop them, please?
Well, I have to do a jump to the past. When I started here with my colleague, Mr. Watzke, Borussia Dortmund was nearly bankrupt. Everybody knew that. And we had no money to invest in the transfer market. We were not able to buy players. So we decided to develop our own players, to identify high talented players, to develop them to the first team, and then to capitalize on the value we are producing. And we developed this to a very high level over the last 20 years. And though we invest in those young talented players, we accept that those young talented players are not that stable in their sportive performance like a top star in the age of 25, 28. But we give them the possibility to develop and show their talent, which gives us a possibility to capitalize the value we produce and to cross-finance our squad, because for us it's important to have a competitive squad for international competitions. And though we make out of a problem we had in the 2005-8 to now, and we are well known that we are able to develop those players, and those players are coming to Dortmund. Everybody in the European football industry knows the best talents in the market, but we can offer a package others can't, because we offer the package an acceptable salary and national and international appearance, that they have the capability to show their talent and they can do the next step in their career. And we accept that over time we have from time to time to sell a player. That is what's different from other big football clubs. The big football brands buy stars. They're not though into developing young talented players. Though if a young talented player would go to one of those big brands, he runs the risk that he's sitting on the bench or on the tribune and he cannot show and not develop his talent. For that reason, those guys are coming to Dortmund. And beside of this, we have a big scouting department, modern software tools to identify players. And we have a lot of scouts all over the world looking for new talents which could be fit in our team.
And so players and the squad, that they're quite, that they have a lot of effects in terms of the financial statements and, where they appear on the balance sheet and, the gains you make on the players and the disposal. So could you just talk about what are the key accounting issues with respect to the squad and those?
Okay. If you buy a player, you have to invest a transfer money for that players to pay to another club. Then you capitalize the money you pay for that players on the balance sheet as an immaterial asset, and you write off the value all over his contract time. So we have depreciations, amortizations in your P&L account. The second is, while the player is playing for you, pay him a salary. And this salary varies depending on his fixed salary, and then you have variable parts in his salary depending on his appearance time, depending on the success of the team as a whole, for example. And after, when you're gonna sell one of those players, when he goes away, and you can sell him, and he with not an outrunning contract, then you negotiate with other clubs for the compensations to give them the rights to sign the players. And then you have profits from transfers, which is not part of our revenues. It's a separate line in our P&L account. And this consists about compensations you get for the players, less the concurring book value you have to book out, and the cost for advisors in the transaction. And in the bottom line, you have the profit from transfers.
Okay. So, Thomas, in recent years, there have been quite a few new leagues coming into perspective. So, the Saudi market and the US Football League. Have they been a good or a bad thing for Borussia Dortmund?
Well, that's a very difficult question. If you have new leagues like the Saudi League, the first thing what's happening is there's more money in the football business because they buy players and they pay a lot of money for those players. And that money goes to Europe, the majority of that money. And this goes around through the industries. And that pushes also transfer prices. But the big influence is not for Borussia Dortmund because those leagues are buying elder players, riding to the sundown of their career, for example, and they do not buy the players we are selling. So the influence actually is not that big for us, but it may be changed in the future because those leagues are not that attractive for the international football audience. Still not.